Hello, hello, everyone. I think we are live now. Welcome to the Monday Motivation Sprints. I have a lovely guest slash friend slash my publisher. So Zara's become the jack of all trades in my world. So
I'm just everywhere now.
yes, you are. You're too popular. And every time I go, like there was like the Writer Town sprints yesterday, and then I'm like, oh wait, Zara's a part of this. I'm like, you're just a part of everything. It's great.
People just ask me if I want to be part of write-a-thons, and normally I'm like, yeah, because I need to get stuff done. So I might as well join a write-a-thon.
Very smart. I usually like I'm either like working a weekend shift or I don't realize until later, and then I catch like the last like two sprints or something. That's usually what happens to me.
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, but at least I'm able to catch some. So
And there's always replays, so.
yes, yeah, that's true. So I think I have you. Okay, good. I do have you linked down below. So Felicia's here. Hi, Felicia. She's always like the first one, like ready to go. I love it.
Yeah.
um, but Zara, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the founder of Inimitable Books, which is going to be publishing Holly next year in April. The title is A Diamond Bright and Broken. It is a young adult fantasy, which is, I seem to be publishing a lot of fantasy. But the publishing company's mission is to uplift marginalized voices without pigeonholing authors into writing about their trauma. Because sometimes we don't want to write about society being crappy to us because writing is our escape, and I think that should still be celebrated and published and things like that. So
Yay.
that's me.
So true. Yes. Clap, you know. And JC is here as well. Oh, look at these two beautiful people. And there's beautiful people on the other side of the screen too.
Thank you.
That's sweet. Thank you. So let us know what you're going to be working on today. If you are doing Camp Nano, how's camp going?
I signed up to do camp, and then I haven't updated the site once because I haven't worked on anything of my own. And I was like, even deciding to sign up for it, I was like, this is probably going to be pointless, but I'll set my thing low enough that if I write like 200 words a day, I'll be fine. And then I was like, we're halfway through the month and I'm like, 0. I can't be bothered to care. I don't think I even care enough to remove it from the site. I'll probably do it later in hindsight, but I'm just like right now.
I think that was me too. I think I did because I was gonna like outline my like middle grade that I like started to out. Oh yeah, I still have it up too. And I was just like, it's not gonna happen because like all of the things I was planning to do this month instead, now I'm like, well, it's like something here and there, something here and there. So I'm like, that's too hard to track like on the website. So I'm just kind of like inadvertently doing Camp Nano by like being productive with all the different things. So I guess it's kind of like a rebel, I guess.
Yeah.
But
like even that, where it's like, oh, you're a rebel because you're not starting something completely new. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I'm doing a lot, but nothing that like doesn't feel like cheating on the Nano website, where it's like, hey, look at all these words I wrote, and they're like, not for my own book, and I barely even know how to count them because normally it's just like adding in a word that was skipped by accident, or like just rewriting a sentence but using all the same words but just in a different order type of thing. I'm like, I'm not bothering. I'm not doing Millwordy.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Is that still going on? Are people still doing Millwordy?
Mean, Kate stopped doing it. I did it for a whole year. But I think other people have started it whenever they wanted to, and like good for them. But I am no longer counting every single word I write. Like it was cool, but also there's a limit. Like I from that I learned that I can't write more than 2,000 words a day without feeling some sort of burnout across all things. So that includes emails and social media, unfortunately. And now it's just like, look, if I get stuff done in a day, that's it. I don't care the amount anymore as long as it gets done by deadlines. So
very, very true. It's a good way of putting it. Also, JC said, can I just say, Zara, you're kicking ass with your publishing company and seeing how hard you've worked to build it. I'm so happy for you and everything that's happening for you and your authors. Oh,
thank you.
So much love. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. JC is like the sweetest.
JC is amazing. And what happened was like really shitty. So I was happy I could donate a little bit something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Felicia said, I'm 89 words from hitting 15K. What? Yay! My nano goal is 20K, so it's going well for sure. But I won't be able to write until later today. Okay. Well, at least you're crushing it clearly. So
maybe you can like get those 89 words in like on your phone in the notes app or something. Just as a break or something.
That's smart. Yeah. There's been some people where they're like, oh, yeah, I wrote like, like I've got like 10 words to hit this. And I'm like, why didn't you just write gibberish? Just like write anything. Ralph says hi. And JK's here. Hi, Joanne. Going well. My cats had their dental cleanings today. So I just picked them up after work. So they might not make an appearance because they're all like out of it and sore. But yeah, it feels good that their teeth are clean and they all checked out with their meds and stuff. So that's good. Thank you so much. It was so fun to post my YouTube video and then have all the comments. So there's still some comments actually I need to reply to. That's what I'm going to be doing during the first sprint.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, usually I do that during sprints, like reply to comments. And then, the Diversity is Lit book poll ended. So I have to announce the winner of that, which was Yellowface. So I'm super excited to read that by R.F. Kuang.
I need to read it. I think it might be a book that I want to try on audiobook because I normally read better like physically, even if it's ebook over audiobook, but I don't know when I'd have time to sit down and read it.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes like I'll start reading the physical copy and then I'm like not feeling it, but then I listen to the audiobook and then I get into it because I kind of like pick up the like character's voice and stuff. So and sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes I get confused listening to an audiobook and I'm like, I just need to like read the words. So there's like pros and cons to both.
I just need someone to like have listened to it and tell me that the voice is good, because the first fiction audiobook I ever tried listening to was Shadow and Bone, and I did not like what the narrator did at all. Oh. And so I kept putting it off. And then I was finally like, what if I just read it? Like read the paperback. And I did in like 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
From the beginning. Because I was like, I think my brain might have even blocked out the first 3 chapters from the audiobook. So I just went back all the way to the beginning and read all the way through. See, this is why I don't do audiobooks. But then I hear so many people talking about how many books they can read because of audiobooks. And I'm like, I want to.
Yeah. Well, and then there's some books that they don't have audiobooks. So I'm like, I don't have a choice. Like, I need to read the physical copy. So, but it's funny you mentioned Shadow and Bone because I haven't read the, what is it, a trilogy? I haven't read the trilogy.
The Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then there's the Six of Crows duology, and then there's, I always forget. Yeah, I think it's King of Scars duology.
Yeah.
But I always want to say Rule of Wolves, but that's the second book in the King of Scars duology. But then the show, like, without spoiling, they basically were like, oh, we're going to do stuff for the crows when they're younger before the Six of Crows book takes place so that we can have characters interact with each other.
That's cool.
The first season of the show is cool. That's all I love the first season of the show.
Did you watch the second season?
I will not put my thoughts here about the
Oh
second
my
season.
gosh. Cause my sister said that the she's like, you need to watch Shadow and Bone, and we just finished the second season. It was awesome. But she didn't read the books. So I
It
don't know.
wasn't even about reading the books. It was so
Okay.
basically in the first season they decided to make the main character half Asian.
Okay.
Because the actress was, and I was like, oh my God, I get representation. It's awesome. And there were some people who were like, why are you introducing racism for no reason? But there were promises of, oh, we're going to like go into it in the second season. And then that promise never materialized. And then they kind of did it, but not with that character. And it was like, why would you give that journey to white characters who have nothing to do with it?
Oh.
And so like a lot of writing decisions were made that were like lazy, made no sense, and also just like felt like a complete slap in the face to like most of the character development that was in the first season. So like the fight scenes were awesome. The new characters that they introduced were as good as how they had handled the characters in the first season. So apparently they're good at like introducing characters.
Cool.
But the maintaining it was very much like
you're
doing
rough.
a TV show, which means you're in it for the long haul. You can't just like do it good for a certain amount and then be like, we're good. Like we don't need to put effort in. And I'm like, no, that's not how a show works. And like also the shows that I love are either, aside from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is good all the way through, and normally it's like they have 3 really good seasons and then go on for too long. Or they get canceled before the 3rd season, and then the 3rd season's a train wreck because they got canceled like halfway through production, and then they're scrambling to be like, oh no, we introduced all these things in the first half, but now we have to wrap it all up. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
So I just like have apparently bad luck with TV shows. At least NCIS I'm happy with like through season 8.
That's good. Yeah, I was getting to a point where I was like watching shows and they'd only have like 1 season. And I'm like, really? Why did I start this show? Like, this is not okay.
My mom will do that. And then she's so excited when the 2nd season comes out. But like the ones that keep her interested are normally like British shows.
Nice.
And like those seem to have a better reputation of staying consistently good throughout.
Better shelf life or something.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Oh.
So yeah, that was like the nice version of my thoughts for season 2. I guess gonna do the other ones.
Yeah. That's an interesting. Like, I'm glad I know that going into it, so I kind of have a little bit of context.
Like the fantasy is still cool, but like the depth and well handling of a lot of the characters, I'm like, you can like in the first season and like really savor it because promises were made in season 2 that were not kept. Have you watched Beef? I was going to.
I binged Beef.
Get around to it before it came out that one of the main actors was not a good person, had like done some really not good things in the past, and I'm not going to say them for like fear of triggering people. But then the other creatives, like including Ali Wong, were like, "Oh, like he's changed," and I was like, "That." They didn't like apologize. They didn't really handle it in a way that made me feel good about watching the show. So I haven't, which is really sucky because it's like, again, it's like, and I don't just watch stuff because it's Asian representation. I'm not like that type of person, but I always get excited when it's like, oh, I can see myself on screen.
Nice.
And I was really excited about this because, you know, Crazy Rich Asians was like, oh, see, like Asians can be desirable in Hollywood. And then this was like, oh, Asians have more emotions than just, you know, the comedic sidekick or the super wise mentor thing, which was also done in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I also had to watch. But I was just so excited for Beef, and then that came out before I got to watch it, and I was like, I don't know if I can watch it. Maybe I'll get over it.
Maybe, yeah. It's hard when I can't separate myself from like the actors and the show sometimes, and it's like, but I don't like you in real life, so or like you were kind of shady, so I can't.
My problem is that like while I can appreciate really good acting and I know they're good actors, the moment I know the name of the actor or have seen them in something else, the illusion breaks for me to a point that I can't really separate it. Whereas, not that we should separate author from book necessarily, especially when it comes to like we don't want to put money in said author's pocket.
Yeah.
But when I'm reading a book, I can normally ignore the author until after I've read the book.
Right. That makes sense.
And Rafe, you don't have to apologize to me. It was just something that was all over my Instagram feed because I follow a lot of like Asian social justice groups, thanks to 2020 treating us like really, really bad. So,
I want to get on talking about Downton Abbey and Korean shows. So this will be a to be continued after our first sprint. But really quick, Paget popped in. Hardcore editing, awesome. And Hunter, hi. Also saying Downton Abbey is life. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Don't cancel me. I haven't seen Downton Abbey yet.
I haven't either, so you can't cancel us.
But like, here's the thing: is that my mom will tell me about shows because she'll be like, "Are you gonna watch it?" And I'm like, "No, probably not." And then there are certain things that like Years Have Passed. I'm like, I feel like I should watch it just to like know what it was about, really, and have my own take on it. But also, like, I've heard so many spoilers that like most of them have been dumped from my memory because they're not relevant to me. But I feel like once I start watching, there'll be a moment where I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And I'll be like, whatever, I'm along for the ride. Like, it doesn't really matter that certain things have been spoiled for me because I'll still watch it. But
yeah, that's same. Yeah. I don't know anything from it, so it'll be new to me. And Felicia just hit 15K. Woohoo!
My mom was just very excited for like some of the Disney live action remakes because Lily James, who was the new Cinderella, had been in Downton Abbey, and then Dan Stevens, who was the new Beast, like had been in Downton Abbey. Or we'll be watching some British show, or she'll be watching some British show, and she's like, "Oh, it's in Downton Abbey," and I'm like, "Great, means nothing to me, but like, I'm glad you like this actor or actress."
Nice. Yeah, and it's how many? There's like 7 seasons, isn't there? Like there's like a lot.
Hunter's saying there are 6 seasons and 2 movies. There are 2 movies?
Okay.
I thought there was only 1 movie.
Okay.
Lily James is great. I do love her.
Nice. Aw, okay. Gosh, now I need to watch it. Oh, now I need to watch it.
I'm sorry, I'm derailing your stream.
No, you're fine. I want to keep talking about it. So let's continue it after the sprint. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. And don't worry, I starred the message about Downton Abbey, so we'll continue. And then I see Paget's asking about pachinko, so we'll to be continued. So let's vote for which cat we think is going to win. Zuko, okay, so Oliver did fine during his appointment. They said Zuko was a little ornery. He's usually the spicy burrito, so I'm gonna go with Zuko, number 2.
I'm gonna go in number 3, who's like the gray without an undertone.
Yeah. Cute. Okay, let us know which cat you think is going to win this first sprint. Garfield. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. Oliver heard me say that, so he came up to say hi. Oh. Yay, Zuko won.
I was just about to say,
Yay, Zuko.
good for him.
Yeah, he actually and Oliver like popped up. I think I saw Joanne had seen the cat alert. He was super smooshy on me, like I think because he's still out of it from yeah, so he was just like brushing up against me. I was having like hair in my mouth and Zuko's on here now, so
What was that when you weren't saying that? Oh, he jumped up, or is that?
yeah, that was like maybe like halfway through.
Oh, I missed it then.
Yeah,
I
he
was
was if you go back sometime, you'll see him just brushing up against me, and then at the end, he walks away, and I'm just like, I've got hair everywhere.
the life of a cat owner. I would say dog owner, but Riley is a Havanese and doesn't shed.
That's so nice.
Yeah. My
That's
mom
why
and
I'm
I
like
really didn't want one who shed.
That's why I'm like, why the next dog we get, we want like a Bernese Mountain Dog. I'm like, why do we want a big furry dog? But like, I just
It's
want a
gonna
bear,
shed.
and I'm just gonna. I'll have like 5 years to mentally prepare for the upkeep.
It's gonna be a lot, but I think it'll be worth it if you decide that it's worth it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess you're really lovey now that you're back. Yeah, you thought I left you.
What happened at the vet?
They just had their like yearly dental cleaning and like
Oh yeah,
comprehensive
the
exam. So
dental cleaning.
they got like their rabies and distemper. And then was there another shot? I don't know if they did blood work and yeah, and then they did their dental cleaning. So, they were telling me like, oh, be careful handling them. They might be a little sore in the shoulders where they got the shot and stuff. So yeah, but I try to do them both at the same time so I could just like bring them in at once and then bring them back because and then at least they're together, like, while they're recovering.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So how did everyone do? I made some food and then was working on the Diversity is Lit announcement post, and I was also going to be launching the Discord, so I was still working on writing up that message, but making progress slowly but surely.
Running a Discord. I mean, I have one personally
Nice.
linked to my personal Ko-fi page, and I basically just set it up to automate like, oh, Zara tweeted, or Zara posted a YouTube video, or Zara made a Ko-fi post. But beyond that, I had set up channels for people to actually do stuff, and then I think everyone just had gotten too tired of all of them going, because mine wasn't actually super active. It just fell by the wayside, and I was like, you know what? I'm cool. I don't need to. I never tried to revive it. I was just like, if I don't have to manage it, great.
Yeah, I've noticed like that sometimes people don't get my Goodreads messages, and the Goodreads app isn't as group friendly. Like it's fine when you're adding a book or leaving a review, but like to get into the groups, it's very wonky and you can't get to the forum. So it's like just harder to chat. So I had people vote on which platform they wanted, and Discord won because I was like, okay, like I'll still have like Goodreads and then I'll have Discord too in case people want to chat there. Is it easier for them? I'll still kind of I guess I'll have like two things, like vote on the polls here, recommend books here, chat about the book of the month. So hopefully that will kind of help with, people
Maybe
that don't
you
want to
can
use
do
it.
like official polls on Goodreads and keep that all in one place. That way you don't have to tally up like two different polls, but then because also you don't know if someone would vote in both places because they're like, I really want my vote to count.
That's so true.
But then the discussion can be like, whichever platform makes you happy.
Yeah, no, that's true. I could just like post and the link to the poll like in Discord or something.
Yeah.
So that's smart.
I mean, not that I think it would totally skew your stuff, but it could still maybe a little bit. to the point
Yeah.
where you're like, no, I want to know what the actual numbers are and doing this would be.
Right. No, that's true. Um, so I'm writing down, okay, because that's what I do. I have my like to watch list of things. Um, so I'm adding Downton Abbey and Pachinko. What are my pets doing? Sorry, I just heard like dishes rattling. What's going on?
That's
Um,
something you want to think
yeah,
about.
let me go check.
So I can't put comments up. But Zara, do you like British TV? Yes, I like British TV. I just tend to put NCIS or Bridgerton on in the background because I've already seen them. So like I can just I'm weird. I'll like memorize dialogue and the timing or whatever. So like it almost becomes white noise to me that I
Right.
can, and it's basically the only sound that I can have on while I'm working. And I don't like to work in silence, but actually watching something new is such a huge commitment from me because it's like I need to watch it without doing anything else. And
That's why I've been watching I just like binge watch any like cooking or baking competition shows on Netflix because that so much that it started like showing me like dubs, like the Spanish one with like an English dub because I was like, I guess I watched all the like English shows because it's just perfect like kind of like background, but I can like I don't have to be like have my eyes glued to the screen the whole time.
yeah,
Um but yeah, Oliver was because the vet said to only give them half of their dinner, and because they were under anesthesia, they didn't get breakfast or lunch.
oh,
So Oliver had opened up the cabinet where we used to put because Zuko like usually doesn't finish all of his food, and then Oliver would eat it all. So we would hide it in the cabinet. Oliver learned to open that up, so we put it in a different cabinet. But anyways, he had opened up the cabinet where we don't
the
have it
old
there anymore.
cabinet.
Yeah, but because it's easier access. So he's searching for food.
He's on the hunt.
That's why his original name was Wilbur. So, it's very fitting.
Oh,
And that's his
that's
middle
so
name.
cute.
Yeah, that's his middle name. So,
That's adorable. That's so cute.
uh, oh no. Okay, I was gonna check out Marco Polo, but because it ended after 2 seasons, I can't.
I
That's
don't know. I would think like, okay, that's a 2-season commitment. Like I could do that.
yeah, but then I guess like does it end on a cliffhanger? Like something where like is it better for me to watch it and then not know how it ends, or will I have been better from it by watching it? You know what I mean?
Uh that I can't answer. I also haven't watched that. That is on my list. Netflix started recommending like all these K dramas to me because I think I've mentioned K dramas enough on streams where normally the sentence is, I haven't actually watched a K drama. And so Netflix is like, here's a bunch, and they're all added to my to watch list. And then it's like, I'll get to you within the next decade, maybe.
I added a whole bunch too, and so then Netflix started like recommending K dramas to me, and so I'm like, I have a whole bunch I want to check out, but again, it's that commitment of like I have to watch the screen now, and like, so, uh, that's good that JC you can separate the art from the artist. Um, okay, let's see.
The gasp was to me not having watched
Okay, yeah.
Abby. I think you can skip back down to the.
Hi, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
Hunter
so
Miller's comment
much.
right above it is a bit of a spoiler. So,
Oh, oops. Okay. Okay.
because I
Oh,
know
good. All right. Not looking.
it. Yeah.
Oh, wait. I didn't see who else won the race. Robert.
Okay, so Robert.
Robert won.
I don't see
Yeah,
anyone
Robert.
else who said.
Robert and I
Yeah.
won. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Smooshy, smooshy. Hi.
Very clingy after the
Yes,
vet.
super clingy. Yeah, I
That's
rescued you, huh?
okay.
You just want food from me, huh? this was what he was doing. Congratulations. Thank you, Paget. And thank you, Joanne. Aw. Oh, that makes me so happy. You saw my mood boards. Yes, I was actually gonna share my mood boards on my Instagram because I
Yes, you should.
have, yes, of Cadence and Raven, because I've shared cadences, but I haven't shared ravens on my Instagram. So, and it had been a while. So, thank you. Those are always fun, like when I want to be productive, because I'm like, this is for motivation. KK's here. Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh, I'm glad you had a much needed nap. Motivate myself to get out of bed. You do whatever you want in bed. There's been so many times where I'm like on my phone for hours and I'm productive. I just haven't gotten out of bed. So that totally works. And the cat emoji, I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I never watched Buffy, I never watched Charmed, but I watched Angel
You watched
because
Angel, but not Buffy.
I
I'm
watched
sorry.
Angel because I got it as a white elephant gift for Christmas.
Okay.
And so I just started watching it and not realizing that, like,
It's a
oh, this
spin-off
is a
show.
spin-off.
Yeah.
But then when they would like show Spike and stuff, and so I'm like, I don't have any context to him, but because
Yeah.
Angel was like 6 seasons, I just never went back. But oh, it
Okay.
was such a good show.
I watched certain episodes of Angel, but I watched all of Buffy.
Oh, so good. Yeah, Angel, I would totally rewatch that. I don't know if it aged well, but
Yeah,
oh.
I mean there are definitely things in Buffy that didn't age well. Mostly because it's just Joss Whedon and you're like, but
Ooh, now K sci-fi. That's something I haven't watched yet. I can't get into K-dramas. I don't get the hype. I don't want to have to read what I'm watching. I love it. I'm used to like watching subtitles from like anime, so I'm used to it. And then also I was trying to learn Korean. I'm bad and I haven't done my Duolingo in like it's probably been like 3 months or something. I just kind of fell off of it, but yeah. I kind of wanted to watch it so I could like practice and learn that too. Mm. Ooh, Fear of the Unknown. Yeah, I actually haven't read anything by H.P. Lovecraft. So.
I've read a few things. Holly, your URL for A Diamond Bright and Broken is copy of Abargo's Riddle. So you might want to update the URL.
Lord help me. Thank you. Copy of Abargo's Riddle. Oh, I also need to get back to that book.
But
thank you.
Casey, if you go to HollyDavisBooks.com and then click on learn more next to like underneath the A Diamond Bright and Broken section, it'll take you to the page that has the mood boards. Also, I love that you use the actress from Riverdale.
Yes. Oh yes. She's my inspo. I've got a girl crush on her. So pretty much whenever I'm like, oh, that person's cute. Okay, they need to be inspo for my story. That's why Jordan Fisher is the love interest in the Celestial Code, and that character's name is Jeremy. So whenever Jordan Fisher, like I think at the time he was actually on Dancing with the Stars, and I kept being like, "Oh, Jeremy!" I'm like, "Wait, no, that's my character." But I kept like forgetting his real
it starts with the
name.
J. It's like also a kind of common name.
Yes, and Cadence is based off of Haley Steinfeld. Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Steinfeld. Yeah.
I would say Steinfeld. I could be wrong.
Steinfeld. Yeah, Steinfeld.
Yeah.
So I always try to find like actors and actresses because then I can ensure that I have a lot of pictures of them. Okay, here we go. How do I fix? I'll have to do this during the next sprint. How do I?
It should. You're on Wix or
Wix.
okay, so it's in the settings for the page.
Page settings, yes.
And then click on SEO. And then you can change the URL.
Oh, here we go. Marketing and SEO. I don't know if it's working. Let's see.
Well, then you have to publish it for the change to take place.
Because there's a marketing and SEO. Is that the same?
No,
go to SEO settings. Customize your pages. I'll figure it out.
So go to the page that you want to edit.
Oh, here we go. Edit by page. Oh, and then I have Project Bucket List, copy of Project Diamond. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then click Site Pages and Menu in the left side.
Got it. Oh my gosh.
And click the 3 dots next to the page that you want to edit.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Thank you so much. A diamond.
I just thought it would be helpful.
Very much so.
Just at least for that book, you know?
Yes, very much. That's the important one right now. Okay, I'll look at some of these other ones too, make sure they're up to snuff. Yes. Yeah, now you can go to HollyDavisBooks.com/a diamond bright and broken. See if it were. Oh wait, did I?
It did. I got it.
It did. Worked. Okay, yay! Because I didn't.
I don't know if I have a wrench on your channel, Holly. I forgot to check.
A wrench?
Like so I could pop the link into your chat without you having to do it.
Oh yeah. How do I? Okay. So many things for me to do.
I'm so sorry. You don't have to do it.
No, you're fine. I think that'll be good for me to do during your. How do I? Oh, if you chat, can I click on
chat, then you can click on the 3 dots.
Yeah. Go ahead and say something.
Yeah, I'll just be like, hi.
Okay, we'll start the next sprint soon. Let me.
Once we have all the tech.
I know. Hello. All the tech things figured out. Oh no, these emojis are blocking here. Hi. Okay, because it's like this emoji is blocking me from clicking on your. Here we go. Add as a moderator.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, so.
Okay. Thanks for helping me figure this out. It's funny.
Yeah, no, I just want to be able to pop the link for your book page up here, even though there is I need to add it to the publisher website. But I don't want to do that until I've written the book description for your book. Yes.
I'm so happy I have support and help. Yay. Please start Buffy and Charmed. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've never watched Charm. Definitely do Buffy.
I'm
with
adding
the
so
caveat that it would not fly today.
Yes. Oh, and KK's the same. I watch Angel and not Buffy. I don't like Buffy. It's great. Hi, Kay. Hello. Welcome. You're in the right place. I need to write 3 chapters left. That's amazing. Okay, now that we got the tech correct, and also here's the link that actually works now. Yay. Oh, and I only watched the first season of The Witcher. See, there's too many books to read and too many shows to watch, and I need to just have more time? Can there be like 48 hours in a day?
I don't think I want to get involved with The Witcher because, like, I think the season that's either just coming out or just came out or whatever is like season X part 2 or something, but the next season won't have Henry Cavill because he left it and someone else is replacing him. And I'm just like,
What?
I don't want to watch a show where the main character gets recast.
That's lame.
You know, like if they had been like, oh, this is another Witcher.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to diverge from like the source material that, like, you know,
if
looks
anything,
very similar or doesn't look similar, and it's literally just another Witcher who like steps up and into Geralt's position, fine. But I'm pretty sure they just like recast the character, and I'm like, that's like a little...
I mean, unless, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's like,
although now I think
really
that season might be affected by the strike, so maybe it just won't happen.
We're gonna get it in however many years, but the reason why, I mean, I would at least probably rewatch the first season just because it's actually a Bargo's Riddle. The Witcher was going to be a comp title, so I was kind of like, oh yeah, I want to keep reading or like watching it and just kind of seeing, what it's about,
I want to watch The Witcher because there's a fight scene in a certain... So sorry.
No, you're fine.
There's a certain fight scene that happens in like a narrow alleyway that has certain stairs, and then I found out that it was the exact same place that a fight scene in Shadow and Bone the first season happened. Because I was looking at it, I was like, wait, because someone had shared the clip or something as like whatever, and I was like, that looks like Netflix went reuse the same set, right? And then it's like, no, they just reused the same spot in, was it was it Bulgaria? Now that season 2 of Shadow and Bone like turned me off so much, I don't remember all the trivia that I knew for season
1. I feel like that might be right. So New York for those sirens.
Yeah.
Yay, out of bed, making salmon, gonna proofread soon. Woohoo. And thank you.
One of the actors was Bulgarian, but where did they film? Hungary? I think it might have been Hungary.
That sounds more like it. Thank you. I love that quote too, JC. That's not in my book, but it needs to be. The theme of it is.
Oh, Budapest. So which is in Hungary, but I was thinking of the B.
Oh, okay.
And it was probably getting crossed with the fact that there was a Bulgarian actor in the cast. So
cool. It was beautiful. Those scenes were awesome. The landscape.
There was someone online who had like gone to every single place that they had filmed in Hungary and like would have a picture of the show and like would hold it up to the real place or something. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's like a cool field trip to do.
Nice. I would love to do that. So while we're finishing up the comments, let us know which cat you think is going to win the sprint. Janine's here. Hello, Janine. Finished dinner. The sprint started at a bad time for me. I'm sorry. But I'm glad you're able to make it now, so that's good. Gonna finish my outline, clean up my story Bible. That's something I never do. I never clean up my story Bible. It's always a hot mess, and I never like go back and like change, like fix my outline after the first draft. And I probably should do that in the future. So kudos to you for that. And thank you, the diamond book. I love it. Thank you. Hey, Esther. Welcome, welcome. Oh, lessons are learned once tears have dried.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I really like that quote.
Thank you.
That'll be used in marketing.
Yay. And I'm gonna vote for hmm. Let's go with the tawny brown one, number 7. Lucky number 7.
I'm gonna stick with the same cat color, even though it's a different number now. So I'm gonna go with number 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm not planning on winning this. I'm just sticking to it.
Sure, you could call it diamond. I still call it Project Diamond sometimes just because I'm so used to calling it that. Um, call it whatever you want, JC. It's the diamond book. um, all right, you guys, we're going to start this next sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. Yay. Okay, sorry. I don't know how long.
It wasn't that long. It was just like a few seconds, I think.
Okay, because I was trying to like walk away because Oliver is so smooshy. I'm like, dude, you're like distracting me and like walking everywhere and biting things that you usually don't because you're so overstimulated. So I was like, let me go upstairs. And then I'm like, oh, I still have some time, right? And I look, I'm like, oops, nope, the cats are done. Anyways, 5-1. Let's see who won. Janine, yay.
I'm just gonna plug my phone in. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Yahoo! And let's see. Where did we leave off? Yay! So Kay wrote 392 words. That's awesome. That's really good. How did you do, Zara?
So for the first sprint and this sprint,
Yeah, I realized I never asked you about the first one.
No, that's fine. Jessie had done a lot of images on BookBrush to like for her cover.
Yes.
And then I had done them as well. So I was going through and getting rid of the duplicates, which was frustrating because we did them in different batches, which meant they like had different names. So it wasn't like, oh, this has the same name. So obviously delete one of the files with the same names. It was, I had to look at each one and be like, have I seen this before?
Oh gosh, oh no.
And then for some reason, sometimes when she had downloaded them, because she sent me everything she had downloaded, there were duplicates within those as well. And so I was just like, I think I got it without any duplicates. We'll find out when the cover reveal happens and someone's like, did you mean to upload this file twice? And I'll be like, nope, but
there it is. You said you use BookBrush?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I use it for certain things. I mean, the more important things I tend to do in Photoshop, and then especially if it needs to be high res, and then there are some things where it's like I've done something in Photoshop, but then I throw it into Canva to make it easy on myself.
Yeah, because there's I was on BookBrush over the weekend and I'm just frustrated with like there's no like copy paste. Like I'm like, I just want to copy this arrow and like pay. So because I'm used to like Canva, and then I'm like, it's not doing it the way I want it to. So it's just a learning curve for me because I don't use it enough. But when I do, it is really helpful.
Yeah, I definitely don't use it enough to have all of the like things down pat, but I can use it well enough that it does its job for me.
Yes.
The 3D mock-ups are nice, and when you do a book box, like that's really helpful.
Yes, yeah. I like that it's just like it has all those templates like specifically for books as opposed to like Canva. It's just all just like, oh, let me make this as my like author promo stuff, like tweaking it, but like BookBrush already has it like for the author. So I like that.
Yeah.
Janine said outline isn't finished, but I updated my comps on the website. Not a major website overhaul, just some smaller tweaks. I did a smaller overhaul earlier in the year. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Kind of see, like, make sure that everything's up to date. Because I then went on to, that's also what I did during the second sprint, was looked at the other pages to make sure that theirs was right. But then when I clicked on it, I had a little description and it was like, I'm a YA author. I'm trying to get published with the Celestial Code. I'm like, oh Lord, this is way outdated, like years. So I was like, this is like 4 years old. So like, all right, let's update this description.
I mean, sometimes you just don't think about it because everything starts moving so fast, especially with my company where I'm very much like, okay, we have like 9 months to get your book out. And it surprises a lot of people. And it's like, yeah,
I love it.
So then they're so caught up in, oh my God, here are marketing ideas and here are things that like, can we do this there? And, and that's great. And I love that enthusiasm. And then sometimes the just updating a static thing like a website or mostly static thing,
Right.
like a website falls to the wayside. And I'm like, I mean, we should be consistent across, just for SEO reasons.
Yeah, I should use it like when we do like spring cleaning or kind of like the end of the year, like kind of recap. It's like, all right, let's do like a refresh of everything, and kind of make sure I include my website in that.
I mean, I am absolutely a hypocrite when it comes to Zara Hoffman, like .com, because my own website is. I did try to fix it. I do want to say that. But then WordPress was giving me problems where I was trying to edit the homepage to remove the old platform of where the Writish podcast used to be hosted.
Oh.
And then it was just giving me a blank page. Oh, it loaded now. You know what? It heard me complaining.
Oh.
It heard me complaining.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
You know what? I'm going to take it. I don't. Yes, I'm just going to take it. So happy.
Oh, I love that. Your books are for young adults or the young at heart. Growing up is overrated.
Oh, yeah. I came up with that, and everyone in my family was like, oh, that's so sweet. You'll change it eventually, right? And I was like, why would I do that?
No, that's amazing, and I love it.
They're like, eventually you'll change. And I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty consistent in my attitude in all things. Mm-hmm. Unless, like, I learn new things, in which case I'm like, yeah, I'm going to change my attitude because I now have new information.
Yeah, right.
But otherwise, there are people who are like, oh yeah, you'll change how you want to decorate your home. You'll change X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I really don't think so.
Nope.
And like, that's okay.
I am also really, really glad that The Devil's Waltz is being published. Because way back when I was querying the Celestial Code and was actually prepping it for Pitch Wars, and Jesse was prepping The Devil's Waltz for Pitch Wars, or was it Author Mentor Match? I can't remember.
I think that one was Author Mentor.
Actually, I think it was Author Mentor Match.
I could be wrong. I do want to throw that out.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's been a while.
I can't remember, but I just remember we did a little manuscript or like first chapter and like synopsis swap with everyone, and reading Jesse's, I was like, I need to read this right now. And like, so I'm really glad because I'm like, it just sounded so good.
Okay, so I met Jesse somehow. I think it was like maybe Critique Circle or like some website to find critique partners. It wasn't on NaNoWriMo. I know that. Mm-hmm. In 2014, I swapped my debut novel, The Belgrave Legacy, which was back then The Belgrave Daughter, because The Belgrave Legacy itself was 3 different books versus each book being its own couple as it is now. Own romantic couple. I'm not saying that I wrote 6 books. And she had given me that, and I loved it so much. And then she went and published the Twisted Fate series, which she's now rewriting and republishing, called Taken by the Fae, which is great. I love the changes she made. And then she was also doing like a co-written thing, and then also did a young adult paranormal romance called These Wicked Delights, and it was just all these things.
And her pen name, the pen name.
Yeah. And then in between, she would write a new draft of it and then send it to me. Oh, and I will never let her forget this. One of the drafts she sent me was like, they met, and then 3 months later after dating, I was like, hold up. I'm sorry, you've written and published how many romances, and you thought you could get away with skipping like the honeymoon phase of a romance? And she was like, I just wanted it over with. I was like, no, Jessica, you cannot do that.
3 months later.
I was like, excuse me?
Oh, it's great.
So then I roasted her. She was like, okay, fine, I'll rewrite it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she submitted to me, and I was like, I'll take it. And so, but I haven't actually seen the finished thing. I was just like, no, I've believed in this whole time. And if she pulls something like that again, I'll just tell her as her editor to change it this time rather than a writer friend. But yeah,
I love it.
It's been a while.
Gosh.
I've known it since 2014.
I can't believe she's been working on it that long. I thought it was like more recent.
I mean, it's not like consistently since 2014. It's
right,
been on her back burner for many months over the years, and things like that. So
that must feel so good to like finally like come to fruition.
The cover's really pretty.
I can't wait to see it. Oh,
next week. Yeah, next week. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow.
Oh, I'm excited. I love cover reveals. That's like so fun.
Yeah.
Janine's gonna indie publish. Woohoo! Hoping the update goes live by the end of 2023. Nice. Yeah, 2024. There's some happen books coming out in 2024. So excited. And Kay's gonna message you.
I mean, my inbox is always open.
All right, we are gonna finish with our crazy cats.
I just got charged by a bookshop, and I was like, "What? Oh, I pre-ordered a book." The Jessica Brody one, the writes a young adult novel. That's what I just got charged for.
Oh.
But I was like, wait, what?
That's what happened with me because I ordered mine on bookshop.org. Whichever one she said can get you like the extra freebies because it wasn't through Amazon. So
yeah. I did. So I was going to do that because I love bookshop.org. But then I was like, you know what? I want a signed one. So I did that.
Nice. Yes, I'm so excited about Save the Cat White's a YA novel because of the multi POV, because that's what a Diamond, Bright and Broken sequel might have. Dual POV. Yeah, KK's also publishing 2024.
Kelly Wright's book, who, if you knew her on AuthorTube before she switched her YouTube channel over to Inksteady, and her pen name is Veronica King, and she's made that very public. I'm not like sharing a she is the only book that I've acquired so far. Plus now apparently the sequel might be dual POV, but hers for a really long time was the only one with a single POV.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was like the K's was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's is 2, but the Legionnaire and the Stormgathers are both 3.
Oh my goodness.
So it was always really fun to see how the writers differentiated between their characters, because some would do it like right in the first paragraph of like character name blank, and other times it would take like a few lines to get there, but you knew because of the setting and what was happening immediately, like, oh, this is different. And then me, because I also do the book formatting, I'm like, okay, are we saying the character name at the top of each one, or are we not?
Mm-hmm.
But there will be a symbol no matter what that kind of does it. But then, like, Kay's book is interesting because the symbols kind of change throughout.
That's cool.
But with the Legionnaire, the symbols are consistent all the way through, and it has the character name for each one. So it's kind of like,
oh, that's fun.
It's what works for the book and what does the author want. And I try and be like, okay, but like, is it too cluttered then? Like what's being suggested, and can I peel it back a bit or finagle with it and things like that? Yeah.
Right. Oh, that'll be fun. I'm excited to write more, because I've written like dual POV or multi POV, but but A Diamond Bright and Broken just wasn't. So
yeah, I don't think people should force themselves to write the POV if that's not how the story comes to them. I think I have heard more instances where people are like, oh, I have to cut down the number of POVs, which I normally agree with, because if the author's thinking that, then like the reader's probably definitely thinking that.
Yes.
But yeah, suddenly deciding to add a POV is like a lot of work. And yeah, I feel like if it doesn't come to you that way, then you don't want to.
Yeah. Well, and then that happened with when I was drafting Project Diamond. I was like planning on writing in third person, but like I forgot, and I just started writing in first, and I was like, oh, I guess that's how this story's gonna be. Like I didn't plan on it, but that's how like Cadence just wanted to start talking, and so I listened, and so I was like, I do what the computer tells me.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, I think yours is the only book in present tense.
Yeah, and it was I think I was like planning on doing like third person past, and then like and then it was just like, nope, they're telling me what to do. Fine, I'll listen.
I mean, it's kind of a nice. This is going to sound awful. I don't mean to insult the other books, but like a palate cleanser for me, because it's not like I go from one book to editing another, and even if one is like Kelly's is the only other young adult so far, it's normally I have to be like, okay, I have to really immerse myself in the world again, because third person limited is like applicable across the board, and then yours is not.
Yay.
So like, okay, I just can snap back in.
I think first person is easier for me now because I can make sure that I have that like close, deep POV, whereas I have to like actively try harder in third. Because that's what the short story I was writing was in third, and I'm like, be close, be deep, you know. And so when it's I'm a little bit more, I can like delve deeper into it. It's a little bit easier for me, for some reason. But
no, I think a lot of people feel that way. I think just for me, because maybe it's because of my aphantasia, which means I can't. It's not easy for me to do the external stuff as much. Like I really have to think about that. Right. For me, it's less about what pronoun, like whether I'm saying I or he, she, they, whatever pronoun, or the character name, because the internal thoughts are still in first person, actually, for me. Like if I'm italicizing them, otherwise it'll just be like, this person felt this, and it's just like, you know, even though it's written differently than present tense, it's still essentially the same experience in my head.
So true.
So I think that's why I can bridge it easily, because all the external stuff is hard. So my brain was like, we have to make something easy for you.
Makes sense.
Okay. I think I've only ever written 1 and 2 POVs, but my next project is going to be 3, and I'm nervous.
Ooh.
I don't think you need to be nervous. And it's, to me, writing POVs isn't about, oh, do they both have equal share in the story? Like it shouldn't be, oh, it has to be split up perfectly into like, if there are 3, there are 3, whatever. I think it's about which character moves the story in general forward more. And that's what the next chapter should be in whatever you're doing.
Makes sense.
For people who don't outline and can't hold the multiple POV characters' individual storylines straight in their head, I do think it's hard, though.
So Save the Cat is saving the day for us. Wait, who guessed a cat? Oh, Kay guessed the purple kitty, which is somewhere around 15. I'm gonna guess number 3, the like dark brown, like the like reddish brown one.
What?
1 through 25.
Thank you. Okay, so sorry. I'm guessing number 23. And if yours is the reddish brown one, I think yours is 5, Holly. Because there's
Oh,
a normal
yeah, that's
brown
it.
one. That's just that one's number 3.
Got it. Oh, I see. I'll guess 3. I'll guess 3 since that was what I said. And then 5 is going to win, but that's okay. Ginger. All right, you guys, we're going to start this final sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone.
We have a puppy on screen. Not really a puppy. She's 11 years old.
All right, that was the end of the sprint. Oh my gosh, Janine, you were on a roll.
Yeah,
What?
just pick winners.
That's crazy because like usually no one wins the one with 25 or 30 cats.
Yeah, because the chances are just so low.
Yeah, so usually we just go by, oh, this one was second place or this number was the closest. So wow. Good for you. Um all right, so how did everyone do for the final sprint? I think Ania popped in. Hello and lurking.
I mostly took a break, and then maybe like a minute before it ended, I started thinking about writing your book description.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I still have to do the task that you told me, but I finally finished, or I almost finished. I'm just sharing a story about the Discord on Diversity is Lit. So then I need to reshare them on mine. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this took the whole night just doing all this, but that's okay.
Admin stuff, I feel like each individual thing shouldn't take too long, but when you put all the admin stuff off, it then becomes like your whole day.
Yes.
And I've done it too. This is not just like, oh, this is what happens when other people have done it. I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah, no, that's so true. So got caught up in Canva stuff. Canva's good though. That was productive. And KK actually proofread. Yay. Got through 3 chapters, drank some herbal chai. That sounds really, really good. So, yay. Outline just about finished for Janine. Just a couple more chapters, but there's some holes to fill in one of the characters' arcs. Ooh. But that's good that your outline's almost done. Like, that's really, really cool. I'm going to finish that post and do the Canvas slides. Yes, that's awesome. I keep getting just like the trials of Canva Pro, but not like biting the bullet and buying the whole thing. So, but because sometimes I'm like, ooh, this graphic's better, but it's for Canva Pro.
I might have something for that that we can talk about after.
Oh, beautiful. I love it.
Maybe. I'm just seeing. Yeah.
Matt hasn't written anything since Nano last year.
Very loudly on the phone. Hold on, let me
What'd
close
you?
the door.
Oh, okay.
My mom's talking on the phone very loudly. So.
Oh no, you're fine. Got to get back into it. Yeah, even like slow and steady wins the race. I realize I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can do like pure nano anymore because I try to write as clean of like first drafts as I can, even though I know it's a sandcastle or I know it's just sand in the sandbox, but I still feel like I'm like, man, I'm too old for NaNoWriMo. I'm like, I don't think I could write that fast anymore. Oh, but so yeah, so anyways, I'm all for the little by little and you make progress.
I think that's what matters, honestly.
Yes.
Because yeah, do you want things done quickly so you can say that you've done it? Yes. But also, I don't know, the idea of writing a bunch of stuff knowing that it's going to be crap and then I'm going to have to fix it later is
exactly
less appealing to me.
Yes, that's exactly my thoughts. And I think like too, if like some people feel like, oh, if I can't like write for and I do this, like I'm like, oh, I can't write for hours, that means I'm not going to write anything at all. But like if you wrote just 10 minutes a day, you would have that finished novel by whenever, or you know, maybe you'd surprise yourself and write more. So I need to remind myself of that too. Raf's about to finish a chapter, move into the action part. Beautiful. The canvas. Sorry, I've got like cat hair just like everywhere, and like making my nose itchy. I think it's only a week. Yeah, which is. But I think they've like let me do like 2 weeks before or something. But this time it was just a week. So usually I'll like get a logo or a picture or something and it will be Canva Pro and then I'd be like, oh, I don't want to like, so then I try to download it and it's like, you have a Canva Pro like product, like do a trial or pay this. And I'm like, I'll do the trial. But sometimes I'll pay like $1 or $2 here or there for some things if I really want the graphic. But that's like few and far between. But yeah, so it's probably like 1 to 2 weeks. After this, I want to finish 2 short stories, move permanently to the novella and novelette format. No more long books for me. Nice. And you'll be like, yeah, finished 5 books this year, you know, or more, whatever. And it's like faster and for people to, you know, easier for other people to like devour your books, and it's just like you churning it out faster, them reading it faster, kind of like serials and stuff. Hi, Oliver. You ready to get more fur on me? Oh, okay. Don't put your butt right in the camera. Let's move this way. Doing 50K in a month while working 12-hour nights and dealing with personal stuff. Yes, that is something. That's tough. That's why, like, usually for Nano, I would take like the first week off and like visit my sister, and we'd just like write together, and so I could like have some like more words under my belt before real life hits and I go back to work. So I would like, that was my like pro tip. It's like, just go on vacation sometime in November, and then that's the only way you could get this done. But I have friends that they literally do double and triple Nano. They'll write like 100 or 150 words in the month. And I'm like, okay, I'm struggling with 50, so clearly this isn't for me. Oh, nice. Yes, time it right. Yes.
I was looking up if I could add someone else to my Canva Pro for a team, and they'd like double the price to add one other person from what I currently have. So it's just like I can't do that right now. Yeah. Like even if we all split the cost, I can't. It's too much.
No, don't worry about me. Don't worry about little old me. But thanks for checking.
I was hoping, and it's just like, nope. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that, just like all the prices of things are just going up like little by little. And even if it's like, okay, it's just however much here, but then like everything's going up in price, so by a little. So then it's making it like a lot. So.
Kristen was saying maybe I'm an oddball when it comes to this, but I do well fast drafting. I've had some solid first drafts from Nano. So I've never gotten a good draft from Nano, but I was able to fast draft and publish each of the books in my last trilogy. These are not associated with Inimitable books. These are my own self-published titles. But so each book was written, revised, edited, proofread, and published in a 3-month period, one after another, which I'm never doing again. Next time, if I decide to rapid release a series, they will all be written first and prepared before I start publishing them. So like I've proved that I can do it, but there's something about it being Nano where I have to meet a certain word count each day. That's almost 2,000, like that's over 1,000 words, which is already a stretch for me, just given how my brain works.
Yeah.
And that's what doesn't do well for me. Whereas if there's a deadline, you're going to meet it, I'll be like, yes, I will.
Oh my gosh.
But the pacing is not accurate.
You were in beast mode for sure.
Oh, it was insane. I never want to go back to that.
But 82, 86K is like still huge.
That's great.
Yeah. I don't want to do all the things fast, just drafting.
Well, the thing is that I was yeeting each chapter to my alpha readers who are 3. So they would normally like majority wins unless I was just like, You know, sometimes where you give someone options and then it's not until they tell you an option that you're like, no, I already made my decision and I'm not going to go with the option you gave. So I was doing that. And then by the time that I reached the end, I could go back to their feedback from the beginning, even if they were still reading the end.
Yeah.
And go through it. So it was kind of like overlapping phases, and
Cool.
it worked, but I still don't recommend.
No, makes sense. You're Superwoman. That's it. That's all to say.
Thank you.
And Ralph's going to bed. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
We will also be hopping off. I know we were all productive and got a lot done. Oh, oops, I missed this one. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I missed your comment. I think I won Nano for the first and only time with the first draft of my debut. That's awesome. That's good. It's like, hey, maybe that means like that's the way you got to do the Nanos because your debut was a winner. Oh yeah.
It reminds me I need to come up with a book series title.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of, I don't mean to, but I feel like I've sprung that on almost all my authors except Kelly, who already had it in her head.
No, I didn't even think about it. I think it's because it was like in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not thinking about the sequel because this first book might not even be a thing. So I didn't like allow myself to like come up with a series title.
But I can guarantee the second book can be published. If something's a trilogy, then it's like I have to look at numbers and then really fight for like potentially with distributors to be like, it's worth it, please, but like cross that bridge when we get there. But even with Kelly, actually, she wanted the first book to be called Adventures in Thimbleton. And I was like, no, that's a series title.
That's a perfect series title. Oh my god.
Right. I was like, that screams series title, but we cannot, like, I'm someone who doesn't like when the first book is the same name as the series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not ironically, Sam's sequel to The Legionnaire shares the name with the series, but the series name is not the first book, and that's really all I cared about. So
got it.
Cool. And then okay, so that won't be on Goodreads until I've written the book description, had Holly sign off on it, done the first edit to get a sense of the page count. And those are the things that are required from me on the back end. And then once I put those in, it depends on how long the system takes to push it out to Goodreads. Sometimes it's really unreliable in the timing, so I can't promise. But once it's up there on Goodreads, Holly and I will be screaming it from the rooftops. So
yes,
you won't miss it.
Yes, you will know. I actually just looked yesterday whether I could add myself as a Goodreads author or like what the process is, and I was like, okay, the book needs to be up first, and then
the book needs to be up first, and then you fill out a form, and then they normally reject you, and then I ask you to forward it to me, and then I have to contact them, and they're like, "Oh, you can just do the form," and I'm like, "You can't though, because I've run into this problem 4 times now."
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason I haven't run into it 5 times is because Jessie had already claimed her profile from her self-published book. So I don't know what they did.
Got it.
That like made it harder, because when I claimed my own books, it was fine. So I
just made it wonky.
Yeah, I just made it wonky. And I was secretly hoping you'd make me rewrite the ending to be honestly, the ending could have been a standalone, as could I'm trying to think. Malin's is maybe the ending of the book that was least wrapped up enough that if a second book was never published, it would have been fine. Like readers would have been like, oh, that, like, I feel like there could have been more. Like I wanted there to be more, but you wouldn't have felt totally like unsatisfied. But I don't know. I was just like, if there's an idea for another book, and also just There didn't have to be another book. You didn't have to say yes when I asked you.
That's so funny.
You could have said, no, it's a standalone.
Oh, really? Like, yeah, because we just read Blood Debts for Diversity is Lit. So is blood is I can't just put I can't just put Blood Debts because it's also a movie. Okay. Book. Come on. That's interesting. I feel like no, Zuko. Oh wait, Blood Debts #1.
If you say the author name, it'll be easier to find.
Terry J. Benton Walker. Oh yeah, no, it's Blood Debts. Blood Debts #1, Blood Debts #2. And the sequel is Blood Justice. So that one is named after the first. Okay. Oh wait.
Stop making me
something different.
Me out
okay,
of
sorry. Sorry about that. That's why I was like, I had Blood Debts in my head. So I was like, is that called Blood Gift?
Yeah, no.
I love the title, by the way. Beautiful title.
This was... I didn't change it. I didn't change Kay's title. I came up with the title for Sam's.
Wait, oh my gosh, I don't have that
with her. Because at first it was just main characters like name story, and I was like, obviously that can't be the. So then I already talked about how I help with the title for Down the Well. Which was basically I have my authors give me options, so then I'm like, this is down the right path or this is not. And then Malin's I didn't change. The Storm Gatherers didn't change that. The Devil's Waltz, Jesse and I are way too attached to that title, so there was no chance at how that was going to change.
Yes.
Kay's title I didn't have to change because it fit very well in the genre, and I was just like, I like the cadence of it. It means more to you once you've read the book. Like, it was all good. And then yours, I was just like, Diamond Tears is nice, but it doesn't feel like a young adult book title.
Yes, no, I agree.
It needed to be longer. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it now. And everyone, like my acquaintance who was like, bitch in title, by the way. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. Yeah, it feels like, it like just, it feels more like a book to me. And
yeah, I would like to say I ain't come up with it. Most of these titles I did not I don't think I came up with any of the titles. I was just
but you sparked the seeds. Yeah, and for you to decide it, like then I know it's like, okay, here's some ideas, and then you're like this. So I like that.
Yeah. Kay is happy with her sequel, so that's good.
Yay. Yeah, Smoke and Light. Yes, I love it. Ash and Light. And then I don't know. Did you ever announce the third? What are there 3 books?
DuPont Twins. Yeah, that would interest me more as a series title. Okay, really good at titles. My mom says I'm really good at titles, which I'll take. And like, I'm happy with the titles of my own books and things like that. But I understand that these are other authors' like book babies, and I'm a different type of publishing company where I try and take the author into account as much as possible, and not like just override everything they want and have them be like, yeah, I got published, but like I got almost no say in the process.
Yes. I like how you have us like very involved in it too. So yeah. Yes, Janine can definitely help you with that. I mentioned it in my YouTube video about the book deal, but I used author Brittany Wing's How to Title Your Book video, which really helped me because I literally wrote down all of these, like, all of the keywords and themes and like recurring stuff.
I
And
haven't
then,
watched your video, but that's kind of like how
yeah.
I think
And then
about
it was
things
like
as well.
noun of a noun and noun, or a this. And so then, like, I went to my mastermind group and we kind of brainstormed different things and combinations, and then also using Word Hippo, or, you know, like thesaurus.com to be like, or what is it, synonyms, but Word Hippo does the synonyms, because I was like, oh well, what's, you know, because I was like bright and broken, so we were looking at, maybe I'll do a video about like some of the other ideas we came up with, but like it was like, oh well, this word's kind of awkward, let's see if there's a better synonym, and like, or it starts with the letter B or something. So
It's hard to find YA sci-fi sounding titles that don't have space references. I mean, so here's the thing, is that traditional publishing will tell you that dystopian falls under sci-fi, which I personally disagree with. But
thank you. I agree too.
But they both fall under speculative fiction, and this is not a soapbox. And I understand you want to be wrapping up, Holly, but
Oh, no, you're fine.
if you like think about important things in your book and your cover matches it, I think you're okay. Like the cover for Warcross by Mary Lou is very simple. And like, if you don't know what the book is about, it's actually, I don't know, one could argue it's not a good cover, but at the same time, one could argue it's a very good cover because it interests you. But then you have like, you know, Illumine and Iron Widow. Iron Widow's a little bit less full on sci-fi, but it's like, you know, Iron Widow is a title for a character, but like also in the society of the thing, and that works. And then Illumine, if I'm remembering correctly, is like a categorization, I think. Again,
I totally forget.
Yeah, and it's like the name of the files. I don't remember, but it's like it's something from the world. And I think with sci-fi, if you draw it from the world and it just sounds interesting, but people don't understand it until they read it, like that's okay.
Yeah, right. I think this is true, Janine. I think that's, yeah. You make a good point. Oh, like the old school uglies. Oh my gosh, that.
But that was like absolutely dystopian, like The Giver and Uglies.
Oh yes.
And then obviously, if you want to go like adult fiction, 1984, and Brave New World, and there was one other one I had to read that I really didn't like. Like Brave New World was okay, and I loved 1984. The book, I don't love living it. I can't remember. We also had to watch a movie version of it, but the title still isn't coming to me, so it's just whatever.
You'll remember when the stream ends. You'll be like,
I'll remember it next week, and you'll just randomly get a message from me.
All right, you guys. Thanks for sticking with us for so long. We had some good discussions. I'm excited that we had so much fun and getting to chat about movies and books and our books. So yeah, I will be here same time, same place next week after my dentist appointment. And okay.
Your whole family's getting the teeth thing done. The cats were
yeah, the teeth and then me. And then yeah, so I need to change my links down below, but we just launched the Diversity is Lit Discord. So if you're into Discord, you can at least go to the Goodreads group and the link is there. I'll also update this link in the discussion. But good to see you too. And I'm sure Zara will be back on future streams.
As long as you'll have me.
Yes, for sure. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.